we're back, folks, in the heat of the battle, none the less. So far, most exchanges back and forth, and Nyx is slowly pushing the robot towards the end of this map. Secunda has that spawn advantage that is absolutely critical to the defense that they have been displaying right now, and with the significant advantage Nyx has in progress, Ocean, this could be really tough for Secunda to come back.
Yeah, because where the bot is, you know, Nyx are going to have that earlier respawn. That means that they're going to have an extra fight. Yeah, I think they're going to have at least 4. Because you're going to have this fight in and around where the bot starts. You're going to have a fight on the checkpoint and then at least one other.
The grab! That is massive coming through, and that's a great opportunity for Secunda to take Nyx down before they even had a chance to get set up. Ocean, we have 40 seconds left on the clock, and if Secunda wants to stay in this tournament, they need to come back and win this map.
One Graviton Surge wins the team fight. They should secure them at least to the checkpoint, Sid, so they'll get some respawns to help them on, but they still got to win like 2.5 more points. Right, it's like 2.5 because like an engagement will do, and then 2 fights. Right, so it's so hard.
Tough. It is a tall ask, and with 10 seconds left on the clock, Nyx is at match point. Yamitra goes ahead, throws the sound barrier to keep their team in this fight, and with Cowman going down, there is hope. Ocean, we see J-Bubs on maximum charge. Zarya, Rockets trying to keep these hero plays alive as they continue taking down members of Nyx one after another. Secunda staying in this fight, pushing the cart, and trying to tie up the series.
Okay, so, I mean, Nyx didn't use any ultimate stuff, but they're going to have 5 at some point. So if we get into a longer contested fight, you're going to see an advantage for Nyx. However, there is a small window of opportunity here where Rocket, with the Pulse Bomb, J-Bubs with the Graviton Surge, are fixed with this Kitsune Rush. Before Pink Rush gets that Kitsune Rush online, never mind, it's already online. That window might be gone.
Well, and OT is going to disappear very fast as soon as anyone steps off this point. Cowman deleted in the middle of the whole hog, and there's Death Blossom from Eiko trying to take down Secunda. There's only a couple people left on the point, and well, it's Lucio, and now it's just Rocket keeping the dream alive here. Nyx takes them down one after another, and we have Nyx moving on to the grand finals.
Fully deserved. I thought some of the adjustments they made, the grit they showed, the clutch factor they showed during that series was enough to win it. I thought their support line was consistent. They set the tempo for the majority of Route 66 in King's Row. That was the difference maker today. Also, Kaiman. What a performance. What a performance from Kaiman. I thought they were brilliant today. I thought J-Bubs came into it more onto the Zarya as well. I thought J-Bubs on the Zarya was very strong today. But Kaiman across the board as an individual, I think, I know you're focusing on the support line, got value with their supports, and also individually looked awesome. And that takes Nyx to the grand finals.
And a well-deserved win by them. Honestly, they did a fantastic job at continuing to fight their way through this losers bracket. They had some tough matches yesterday, and you know, the display and the confidence that we saw them come back with on this series, I thought was really impressive. The first map was not so great for Nyx, and I gotta say I'm really pleased to see that they went ahead and adapted and overcame some of the nuances Secunda brought, and I hope they're ready for grand finals up against Redbirds, because it's gonna be just as difficult, if not more, for them moving on.
It was a great, closely contested game, full of lots of little twists and turns. I really enjoyed it, right? You know, we got to see 2 very good backlines up against each other, right? That was fun. We saw 2 very strong tanks, and Kaiman slightly coming on top.
Yeah.
We saw some DPS plays. Rocket's 5k comes to mind. Woo! But in the end, it's Nyx, Kaiman, performance, and Eiko's Death Blossom at the end to secure it, that will go on to the grand finals and play the Demons, the consistently strong professional outfit of Redbirds.
And that is going to be a tall ask for them when they go up against Redbirds. We saw the Redbirds match just before this, and they were a force to be reckoned with, folks, so you don't want to miss out on that action. Ocean, they're gonna get the joy of having Chef Billy and Bull Skunk cover the grand finals with them. So don't go anywhere. They'll be on in just a moment to close out the 2022 North American Open Division Grand Finals.
Well, the entire season, the entire tournament has come down to two teams vying for the top spot in Open Division. My name is Jeff. I'm here with Billy. And, well, we have got Redbirds taking on Nyx for all the marbles and, a healthy stack of prize money to boot.
$5,000 in prizing to be exact. And, we were talking before we came on air. Redbird have a legacy that they have to defend right now. They are the premier. They are the top notch. They're the carte blanche of the Path to Pro system right now. And, results being what they have been so far, Nyx are going to have really a huge mountain to climb here, as they have not been able to beat Redbird Esports in this iteration of Path to Pro since we've gone over to Overwatch 2. So there's a big hurdle for them to climb here. I still got to throw it out to Nyx though. Getting revenge on Secunda that took them to the losers bracket, and then getting their revenge in the loser bracket final. So Nyx have definitely earned their spot here, but there's a lot on the line here for both teams. Like we said, $25,000. The support coming in from Blizzard is absolutely massive, and I cannot wait to get into this.
That is split amongst top 8. So, first place is just under 9,000. Second place is just under 5,000. This is prize money. So both of our teams here are walking away with something. It's who's walking away with that bigger bag. And when, going back to Redbirds, I mean, this is a squad. They are playing every tournament they can get their hand on. I've talked to Coach Flutie, and she's saying that this squad wants to set records this year, just in sheer dominance and number of wins. And the synergy shows. They have that hive mind thing going. Very reminiscent of what we saw in Overwatch League with the Dallas Fuel. The synergy of this Redbird squad is unmatched. Nyx hoping they can break it apart with some star power. It is going to be a 1-3 series in the grand finals. Let's take a look at where we're headed for map number 1.
Yep, and I do believe we're going to be heading to Busan first here as our first map, and I want to put it out there. I mean, the synergy that the Redbird Esports team have right now, I mean, it's almost reminiscent of AT and Dark Mode of old. The hive mind that we see going in with them, just the ability to anticipate their teammates' movements is one of their biggest strengths right now. So Nyx, while they do have the star power on their side, are they going to be able to crack the neural code of the Redbird Esports squad? And are they going to be able to take them, further than, just one map off of them? Because the last times that we saw them, it was a 1-3 defeat to Redbird Esports in A-sides of the Summer Showdown.
Yeah, and that's of course prior to what we saw earlier in Open Division. But Redbirds, they're gonna be tough. Now, Nyx, my question on Nyx is who's gonna be starting for tank. We've seen mixed success with both. We saw Cowman come in and struggle, yesterday a little bit, and then Matt Merck emerged and they dominated. Then we saw Matt Merck play in the losers. I guess it was in the bracket finals, is the losers bracket semifinals up against Riz and put up a phenomenal showing. And then in the last map, it was all Cowman. So there's a plan here from Nyx. I can't tell you exactly what it is. What I can tell you is we have Cowman on the battlefield here to start things off. Hog is selected. Gates are open. Grand finals has begun.
And it's all about right now for Cowman, first pick potential. This is something that I keyed in on yesterday. First pick potential. We saw Nos and Arrow going up against it yesterday. Nos ended up getting the last win there in map number 5. So are they going to be able to do the same thing here? It's all about the Sojourns and who gets that first pick potential.
Oh, and Vision, we are very quickly going to get an answer to that. They find that kill on to Nas, and Redbird Esports immediately just bombard the door. And they're not going to let anybody in here. We do have, it looks like Liar down. Let's go ahead and get first capture for Redbirds while the rest await Nyx's approach.
One of my favorite things is before we come on air and we get to hang out and chat and get to talk to them, we see some of the other players doing a little bit of extra scouting here. Liar was looking forward to this. And we have been looking forward to it all day as well. And it's all about now Cowman getting these hooks, getting built up towards the Whole Hog. The Whole Hog Kitsune Rush combo is what I'm looking for them to really burst this open.
Yeah, Cowman's still a little bit away. Paintbrush is close to it, but Redbirds are a little bit closer. Brinko, neck and neck, really, but that hook, that's going to put Nyx in a strong position. As Ging is going to go down early in this fight. Redbirds just trying to keep their distance, see if they can answer back, find a pick. In fact, they're going to go and invest in the rush and try to beeline their way into an advantage. Lethal on the back. We'll find Fishcake. Fishcake tried to escape, could not. Paintbrush had thrown down a rush of their own, and Nyx have managed to flip this point over. The Redbirds are surrounding this, and they have a beautiful shot onto Nos. Vision once again showing up. That's going to be 3 for Vision, and Redbirds immediately flipping this point back.
Yeah, quick trip there from Vision and popped the overclock at the perfect time. Fishcake got a little bit greedy there. That's why he got picked out there by Lethal on the Reaper. Now, what you're looking at is a sound barrier engaged. Suzu ready for this Death Blossom coming in for Lethal.
Nico's still a little bit away. Nyx didn't like that approach. They're going to rotate back to the low side. They're dropping into the pick. They're going to speed directly on to the point. Question, do they drop the sound barrier early, try to get aggressive? It's the whole hog coming out first, and the sound barrier is there as well. Liar is going to respond, and Redbird so far surviving through those two ultimates. Now Lethal responds with one of their own. The Suzu wears off. Lethal goes down just in the nick of time. Echo is going to throw in the Death Blossom of their own, and now it's Echo on this point trying to fend off Gig. Gig primaling, looking for a good target. Doesn't like what they see, just has to bail.
That's a good, counter. Blossom coming out of Echo there, and Nos is going to have the overclock into this next fight. So great recognition of, the blossoming Lethal and taking the full extent of that and getting a railed headshot on top of him. So now, Lethal swapping to the Genji here, looking to deflect some of these headshots coming in. Lethal, big deflect there.
Yeah, Fish Cake falling early is huge. There's no more speed, no more disengage. Oh, and Nos gets taken out. Nice move from Gig. Completely canceling that overclock. Get no value, and it's a +2 to Redbirds on this point with 85%, and it's starting to rack up now. Lethal has gotten that kill on the Echo. The Kitsune Rush covers the point. Nobody's going to even be able to get close here for Nyx. These are dangerous late stagger picks. Yeah, Vision is going to fall, but Redbirds are in control. Nyx need to do something special here if they're going to try to make it onto this point. If they're going to try to wrestle this away, Echo can't get close enough to initiate overtime, and Redbirds take round 1.
So what I'm seeing from Redbird is what I saw happen yesterday with Timeless when they were going up against Nyx, when they started really devaluing the hog, and we saw the swap come out for Matt Merck to come in on New Queen Street. So what happened was we saw the Winston engage, and instead of popping bubble immediately upon landing on the ground, you wait for the hook to come out, and then they throw the bubble on top of that. It's kind of like the floating bubble that we see so many times from Fearless, especially in the Overwatch League. They really started to time it to perfection and just completely devalued the hog. Any kind of healing coming in to the hog while they're underneath that, Winston Berry obviously will not reach them. That was the big change I saw yesterday. Redbird Esports have done their homework.
Oh, that's such a delicate timing, too. You're a millisecond off either way, and you're going to lose a teammate. Gig is going to get aggressive early, and Vision finds Nos. This is becoming a theme. Vision has just got Nos's head dialed in. It seemingly can't miss, and it's an important opening kill every time that puts Nyx on the back foot. Now they're stuck in this alley, and they can do nothing but retreat.
That is first pick potential. That is something that I want to stat for on my stat screens from now on. It's first pick potential. Who is getting these first picks every time going in? And it has consistently been Vision.
Yeah, I'm keeping track. That's number 4 for Vision for first kills here in this map alone. And it just makes Nyx's life so hard. They don't even get to really engage. Their fight won't develop because they're always a man down.
There's no chance for them really to engage. I mean, the one-touch potential, especially out of the Sojourn, but it's also the dispersal shot. It's also locking them down and not being able to speed out from fights. That's the big takeout from there. And Renko decides that Nos is also not going to be able to play the game.
Ooh, another just slick headshot out of Renko, making that character look easy. And Calman, poor Calman, absolutely dono walled out of their own spawn. Oof.
That's the LH Cloudy special right there, touching the spawn door and not allowing anybody to come out. And so, I mean, look at this. Kitsune Rush available for both squads right now, but the blade is so impactful right now.
Yeah, and it is going to be the Fox Blade coming out immediately, and Lethal is just going in. Eyes on, well, the entire team thirsting for blood, and we'll get plenty of it. Lethal's Blade is satisfied with that offering from Nyx, and Redbirds are perfect right now.
They've got the Primal Rage to be able to just hold point in case they do decide to get a little bit more forward with their positioning. Fishcake is going to be able to get in with this sound barrier, but nothing much else on the board for Nyx.
Yeah, we have a chance to miss. Now Calman has swapped over to this Winston to try to match, which it just indicates Redbird's setting this tempo. It's forcing the swap, forcing Nyx to make adjustments to just the immense pressure that Redbirds are putting down. Redbird Esports have ults to work with. A good kill there. Echo finally getting Nyx on the board here in our second sub-map, and they're going to have an advantage. Liar falls as well. Echo's going to go ahead and use that Death Blossom to clean up what's left on the point, and Nyx aren't going down just yet.
No, but it's still one fight territory. I mean, it's 99 to what, 5% now. Nos might be able to answer back with an overclock and be able to stem some of this pressure coming in, but Calvin has their own primal rage, and they're just not going to take any questions here.
Yeah, Redbird gonna make a quick attack. They got some late kills, but Dig going down low actually is huge. It slows down the approach from Redbird, and now Nyx can start to put some pressure on. Calman's gonna get one. Nos is gonna go ahead and pop that overclock and run Gig off of that precious high ground. Still has eyes on Lethal. Lethal doing a little dancing and dodging on the top, and Nos can't quite lock it in.
We saw it happen against the Tracer yesterday, so I mean, I know that the aim is there. Maybe just a little bit staky right now, not going up against this kind of aggression coming out from Redbird.
And it's Redbird who have the advantage with the rush. Paint Blush isn't quite there yet, and a good disengage, but this thing's gonna flip and nobody's on the point!
Oh, okay. I mean, is it a Charlie 9 or is it a Fox 9? I mean, the Kitsune rush absolutely scared them off the point, and Lethal showing up big, you know, having switched to the first map of Mecha Base, decided that the Blade was the way to go, and just absolutely cleans up and gets the reset here. Beautiful work out of Lethal on the Genji here. So, I mean, this has been a little bit of one-way traffic, and trying to, you know, stick with the hog in the beginning. We saw a couple good hooks come out of our tank here, but I tell you what, Calman just did not seem the same value. Once they swapped to the Winston, they were way more competitive. And, you know, we saw Matt Merck possibly do a little bit better job on the Winston yesterday. But I think that, Sir Waltham said something yesterday that really stuck with me, is that there's an embarrassment of riches for Calman on which tank they want to play. And I think that, you know, deciding how to counter the tank that's facing in front of you, that might be a little bit of a mental block for him. I'm not sure what's going on right now, but you know, this is the grand final, so it's time to throw all caution to the wind and go with your gut. Go with your gut, decide which one you're going to go with, and really make it stand out.
Yeah, they didn't get a kill until Calman made that swap onto the Winston. There was not a single kill for Nyx in downtown, at least. They're in our second sub map. The Winston swap definitely worked a little bit better, but it was a little too late. You're already way too far behind in the ult economy, and we saw, you know, Rinko with the Kitsune rush advantage there when it went down into that final fight, and that made all the difference. And there you go. I mean, like that was all she wrote. Map done, lead to Redbird. So now it's map number 2, and it's Nyx's map pick as we head into our hybrid map.
Well, it's going to be King's Row. So, I mean, you know, do we see Zarya come out here? Calman has shown a very, very, very good Zarya here throughout the Season 2 of Open Division leading up to our grand final. So, you know, I mean, it can work here. Closer quarters, nice areas for grabs. It's all going to really hinge upon what they see coming out defensively from Redbird Esports. That's the big difference that we need to really think about is, you know, how are they going to play this mental chess match as far as the tanks go? Because the tip of the spear is really what wins you these fights, time in and time out. And, you know, the fact that we saw Gig just get in there and start be able to use the bubble and the jump pack, you know, the little theory crafting that they use. You're right. It is a millisecond. It is a millisecond difference. If it's not there perfectly, you know, you're not going to have the same value out of it. But, you know, I like the fact that they let loose with the bubble at the peak of their jump. They drop down, so they're, you know, they're taking a little bit damage on the way down, but the bubble isn't. And then it lands, and then you got all the protection. You really suffocate the Nyx Roadhog, and we do see Matt Merck coming in, by the way. So I think they're deciding that this is going to be a Winston battle, monkey supremacy for everybody now. A little bit of Hearthstone on the screen there for us, but I mean, other than that, it is a mirror matchup all the way across the board. So let's see what Nyx got coming out the gate.
Redbirds were able to full hold Secunda in the winner's bracket final. Didn't give up a single tick. Nyx's defense has also looked pretty strong, but first they're going to have to see if they can break open Redbirds before they get a chance to show off that defense. And, well, it's not going to happen on this one. 2 quick kills. Gig moves in for a little bit of cleanup. Nice first fight here for Redbirds.
A little bit of hesitation there coming out from the shield for Matt Merck, as you know, we saw Gig hiding underneath Mundata's statue on the mini health pack there. Pop theirs first, And then we saw the late engage come in from Matt, and they just were not able to rotate in time to give the resources that Matt needed to stay up, and then it was a clean fight from there.
Slight ult advantage for Nyx. Probably won't see him in this fight, as they're going to try to surround around statue. Redbird playing very close on the back of this statue. Gonna make a clockwise rotation and do a little do-si-do around this point. Nyx move onto the objective and have the ability to hide behind Hotel and kind of poke out from there. Nos is able to use that advantage to find first blood. Big change there from Busan as Nos is able to open up this fight. And Redbirds are now hesitant to move in. Gig trying to dive in, but doesn't have much health. Kitsune Rush on top, and that's a lot of healing as well as extra damage. Sound barrier from Fishcake in response. But it's not getting a whole lot done. Redbirds are able to muscle through all of those shields, and Nyx just do not get the value they need to out of the sound barrier. They do get 2 ticks, though, Bill.
Yep, 89%. So, I mean, their next aggression onto the point should be Kitsune Rush led charge, which will speed up Echo, build them up towards that Death Blossom. That's going to be their win condition, is how much value do they get out of this Kitsune Rush? Do we see Redbird just kite away from it and completely devalue it? But you may be giving up a point, the last point here, if they do that.
Nice rotation from Nyx as they head through Hotel. Paintbrush going to drop this Kitsune Rush immediately over the point and try to grab that last 33% they need. It's already up fairly high, only needing a little bit more to cap the point. Echo trying to push Lethal back, but takes a lot of damage, can't quite land the shot. Lethal staying elusive, surviving on 1 health forever, but everybody from Redbird steps off the point. All 5 were alive. Lethal is going to go ahead and find some revenge on the back end of this fight. Kind of got mad that they gave up this objective so easily. And it's turned into a bit of a bloodbath here on the back of this cap. Echo is going to find Liar, and that means Redbird just have to stay committed into this for as long as they can.
Yeah, and I mean, both the healers are down, and it's going to be, a little bit of a spawn camp here. I mean, well, I'd say that as Echo goes and takes Rainco out, so all of your healing gone, and now the pursuit coming through from Echo. They have this in the bag, and actually gets Gig on the retreat. So now, I mean, Archway is not going to be the place where they're able to hold up here. It's going to, their fights could probably going to have to be taking place around Bookstore, if at that point.
Yeah, I'm not even sure they're going to get back to Bookstore in time with that late kill on the Gig. It was a great play out of Echo. And they've got a Death Blossom ready to go here. Nothing else to really couple with it yet. Redbirds are going to go ahead and hold this long alleyway and fight around the second corner from Bookstore. Echo hiding inside Mega. Has eyes on Lethal right now. Was hoping for a little more targets. Not going to quite pull the trigger on the ultimate just yet. Gig doesn't want to stick their face out, and we're at a bit of a standoff. It's going to be Rinko to break that with the rush coming out, and Redbird is starting to push forward. They're going to muscle Nyx back all the way past the Bookstore. Nyx invests absolutely nothing, though. Clean disengage.
Yeah, that's beautiful, and that's smart and disciplined aggression there. But Echo takes a body shot there from not a fully charged rail shot there, so able to aggress out. And now you're looking at Kitsune Rush and Beat. Liar's going to be able to counter with the beat of their own.
Kitsune Rush out from Paintbrush. Then Nyx starting to push in. Echo in a Lethal, in a bad spot. Gets found out and cut off from the rest of the team. Redbird backing out here. And their disengage was fairly good. Not as clean because of Lethal having to move on to the stairs. So now they've got to wait for that respawn before they can try to re-engage.
Ultimate fight coming up though, Jeff, and I mean the Primal Rage can bully everybody off the point and just get it for free. I mean, we have seen Arrow hold on forever with this Death Blossom.
And also the overclock to start things off. Liar responds with the sound barrier, and Redbird move up to contest this point.
There it is.
I say that, but they didn't contest long enough. Gets stuck in the side room, and Nyx just pushing on in. Again, another easy cap here for Nyx. Redbird, they've got to do better on their timing on contesting these cards.
Yeah, I mean, still Echo hasn't let go with it. Well, Lethal decided to let go with their Death Blossom, and both DPS pick up a kill there. Vision 2 in the fight. So, I mean, yeah, they get the value out of it, but Echo, maybe their Q button has fallen off. Or maybe they're just waiting because they have seen, the openings come in these fights, and they don't have to worry about having to press the Q button to win a fight. So they have actually a really good time bank, 230 as they head into Foundry here. And I mean, I want to see where they go with this when they finally decide to press it.
Knicks have a lot of options to attack this, and well, Vision falls first again as Nos has really stepped up here in map 2. Rinko with the Fox is going to allow Gig to move in, find a couple of good kills. A little over 2 minutes on the clock. And I mean, Knicks are doing a good job of surviving that Kitsune rush. Paintbrush going down, they're not going to have one of their own, though. Now Nos falls, and Redbird's slow, methodical approach on this one will be rewarded. Matt Merck getting taken out of the back end. A little bit of cart push, trying to get the first corner, but very quickly retreating goes Knicks.
Yep, and I mean, Gig will be able to disrupt everybody with their Primal Rage coming into this fight. I'm looking for Paintbrush to lay down this Kitsune rush and just let them have it.
It's been such an interesting back and forth. The disengages have been quite clean from both teams. Lethal hiding on the high ground. It's found out. Gig coming up to provide a little support. Look at this. Liar moves up and chases Matt Merck out, who was switched over to the Roadhog. Sound barrier from Fishcake. Okay, Liar waits just a couple of seconds for dropping their own and try to get that late sound barrier advantage and allow Redbird to get aggressive. They don't push up too far, though. They play it patient, and where they're going to sit and hold this corner for now as Nyx approaches. Nos going to pop the overclock, and it's going to force Redbird back to behind the next corner. Good bubble prevents any headshot deaths. But Echo has moved in through the backside, gets two, and then Nos is able to finish off Vision. So with less than a minute remaining, Nyx finally able to get some progress going. This is going to come down to this one last fight.
Big problem, though, that they've got Kitsune Rush, and, you know, on the back of that, they'll have the Death Blossom coming in as well. Matt Merck can probably get to the whole hog with a hook and a couple of combos going in there.
Rush out down low, and Lethal is just, oh my goodness, putting out so much damage. Combined with Vision, they're able to make short work of that attack. In fact, it's so fast, Nyx is going to get one more go at this.
They are going to get that go. And Lethal, fortunately, did not have the ability to go in. Echo actually got a little extra push on the cart there, and then decides to take the leap into the gutter of Kings Row. I don't know if they're going to be able to get back in time. Probably going to swap over to the Tracer.
It was a bold move there from Echo, and perhaps maybe should have just hid until they could have initiated the overtime, but they tried to go for the back cap, trying to punish Redbird's aggression. Does not work out for him, and Redbirds will stop this cart shot. Nyx able to do a much better job here on Kings Row than Redbird's previous opponents, but nevertheless they're not able to complete it.
Well, I mean, I think they identified, you know, ability to get a first pick, and that started really swinging in Nyx's favor. Nos really stepped up big here on their attack phase, but now it's going to be seeing what Nyx brings out as far as their tank, what Matt Merck decides that they're going to stay with here. Are you going to see the Winston once again? And, you know, I thought that they handled themselves very serviceably up against Gig. The real big contention that I'm looking at right now, Jeff, is they haven't shut down Vision very much. Vision has taken some very favorable sight lines, popping up in spots that you just don't expect to see them. And when the engage does come in, always has that slide on cooldown and is able to get out and continue to pump the damage in, especially on top of a bubble. We saw that happen a couple fights where Matt Merck had laid down the bubble, and then, you know, we saw the disengage come out from Vision and just absolutely pummel the bubble into submission. So, you know, I think a little bit of bubble management, you know, maybe deciding when you're actually going to pop it, maybe try to force that cooldown, maybe see if you can get that pressure into the back to take Vision out of the fight early. We'll see if that's going to be the case here as we see, you know, mirror comps once again, all about Gig getting into the back line, getting that disruption starting.
Lethal coming out on a Bastion? Okay. All right. I mean, I'm here for it. Let's see what you got. I mean, Bastion's got a huge hitbox. It just seems to immediately take all the fire, particularly, you know, we're talking about Paintbrush or Nos. But so far, doing a good job, Redbird, that is, of escorting Lethal into a position. Now, here comes Matt Merck. Yep, drops the bubble, and the assassination is good. Nyx able to send this quirky pick back into spawn, but Echo gets stuck inside the statue. Not the place you want to be. That mini is not usually worth it. 4v4 on this point right now. Lethal going on over to the Reaper.
Well, I mean, you don't really lose much. I mean, you're at 30%, so I mean, that's just a really good trade for them. Now they're going to take the point by storm Lethal really pouring in the damage on top of that. And let me look at the healers' differences right now. Renko a full 10% ahead of Renko. They're going to have to give up first point unless Matt is going to touch and really get on top of them.
Ooh, just barely gets there in the nick of time. But Renko is eventually going to take Matt Merck down. That's going to get Renko all the way up as they get 2 kills here in this fight and are a firm 15% ahead in that ult charge. Let's see if that plays a part in this next one as Renko finds another. Then this Kiriko battle has been just outstanding to watch. I think both players making a case for best Kiriko in NA right now, in T2 at least.
I would absolutely agree with you on that. And I mean, we see the value of both of them. Really coordinating. The Suzus that come in have been perfectly timed all tournament long. But now we do see a little bit of a difference here between the tanks. Gig already has Primal available. And if you want to pair that in with an overclock, I saw it yesterday, especially with Nyx. They paired the juggle with the headshot ratio. Just absolutely fantastic work.
Redbird approaching the corner. Just sticking with Cart right now, not getting too aggressive, playing a little bit passive at the moment. Nos is going to go ahead and pop that overclock, and both Kitsune rushes are out. Defensive placement there from Redbird. They didn't try to push it into the alley. They want to sit back and get these kills from range, and Vision is able to do so. Gig now diving in with the Primal Rage out, and
what happened?
Okay.
Did the game just reset?
I'm not sure what that was. I have never seen that before, Billy.
I have no idea what just happened. We saw Gig pop the Primal and sent everybody just flying and
Gig
threw us out of the
game.
Yep, Gig threw us out of the server.
Yeah.
Blame Gig. I blame Gig.
Yeah, blame Gig entirely. I'm not sure exactly, some kind of server-side issue, I'm guessing. Maybe, we'll get word to you in a minute is how we want to handle this. But, Redbirds were on track, had a lot of time, and we're definitely leading in that fight. And we're certainly on track to go ahead and cap point B there with some time to spare. So it's an interesting quandary. I have question marks all around, Billy.
I mean, okay, so let's talk about how the fight devolved. So we saw what I thought was going to happen. Gig gets into the back line, pops Primal, and pushes everybody back, not only into the Kitsune Rush, but also into the overclock that we saw Vision putting out there, and the kills just started coming through. That's the value of having the Winston available and having that Primal Rage, throwing them out there. So, that was absolutely a fantastic bit of combo. But Jeff, I think we're going to take a quick little break here as we get some back end stuff sorted. Folks, don't go away. We'll be back with you in just a few moments.
Okay, so it looks like our teams have both just agreed to start King's Row over again, Billy. We just got to throw a mulligan on this one.
Okay, and I just saw in the match chat that our production team put up there. Wheats, the coach, just said we are fine playing it all over again. So good sportsmanship. Love to see that. And big ups to Wheats there for just going and saying, let's just roll with it. So Well, we get to go with that again. Now we'll see if there's going to be any changes that happen here. If we see the same kind of strategies coming through, if we see the same amount of progress that come through, this will actually be a chance for Redbird to kind of make up for those errors that we saw, kind of creep into their game there. And yeah, it'll be Nyx coming out on the defense or on the offense here, just like you were first time.
Yeah, that never happened. Here we are. Okay, we're headed to Kings Row, friends. It's map number 2. Redbirds on the defense. They were able to full hold in their last match against Segundo. Nyx is going to have their work cut out for him, Billy.
I mean, that's a better start this time. I'm sorry, I can't just reset it like that. I'm sorry. I'm not even going to try to attempt to. Gig has unleashed the TikTok monkey emoji and has absolutely squashed everybody here for Nyx, and Nyx is going to have to go back for a reset here. Lots of ultimate charge coming through for Redbird Esports. Nice little hold here, and it looks like they're just going to speed on the point and try to get on top of the back line. Yep, they do a little soft reset, but there goes Matt going in on top of them. No bubble available.
It's just a little glitch in the Matrix, nothing to be concerned about. Gig headed up to the high ground here, a little bit low, but Liar's going to come on over and drop those sounds of healing. Gig gets stopped off, but Lethal. Well, there's no healing back from that. Lethal has no head remaining on their shoulders. As Nos is taking an aggressive position to put some fire down back behind Hotel. Matt Merck, who tried to jump in the back. That was a nice boop there from Liar. It kind of forced him into, rotating back around and get what they wanted. And it's going to allow Redbirds a chance to come in here and recontest. It goes diving in. Rinko has this rush online. Kitsune rush out over the point, and that forces a disengage.
Well, I mean, shades of what we saw in the game that never happened. We see them get a little bit more this time. So now, if the future holds true, they should be able to take it right here with the Kitsune Rush.
Ooh, Lethal's able to get Nos, but it's super low. Finds the healing, and the sound barrier comes out. Lethal does not get that sound barrier, but you've got Gig and Primal with all that shielding. I think Echo got booped into Vision. Unfortunate, but Echo is very low. A little bit of healing coming through from the Lucio, but not from Paintbrush. Your Kiriko is gone, and Fishcake the only one there to try to sustain through this. Matt Merck is going to pop the Primal in a similar vein. Matt Merck able to get 2? Nyx might be able to pull this one out. It's going to be close. Lethal is there. I don't see any other blue jerseys on this point, but is able to chunk down Matt Merck enough where they have to bail. Fishcake was in a similar scenario, and Lethal is sticking around because of the Death Blossom, but the bubble was in the way. The shots are good. The rest of Redbird have showed up, though, Billy, and they're continuing to stall.
They are starting to stall this out, and I mean, now you're going to see the investiture, but oh no, that's going to be completely devalued, and now they're going to have a huge amount of ultimate charge in their favor, as now, I mean, no hold at the archway, just like last time. We won't see the pursuit come through once again. Lethal's going to hide around here and be sneaky edgelord. We'll see if they get any value out of this, but I mean, sound barrier and the Kitsune Rush available in this next fight for Nyx. It's all about how much space can they create on the back of it. I really am looking for Echo to really clean this fight up, really step up big here, and take it to Redbird.
That kill onto Gig where they use the rush. That could be map winning, the way it might just throw off the ult economy between these rushes. Fishcake can go and pop a sound barrier here. Speaking of ultimates, Lethal goes down from their flanky position. Redbird's just going to back on out of here. Paintbrush now has their rush ready to go to close out point B.
I mean, and Gig was super low, and it still has not been completely healed up yet. So, I mean, that was a good amount of aggression just on the back of a sound barrier, Jeff. So, super economical for Nyx there. And now, Death Blossom and that Kitsune Rush ready for this fight.
Redbird hiding in a position to contest. They've emerged out. They know they're expecting the rush. How do they want to handle it? They have to stay on the point. Otherwise, they're just going to give it up like they did in a previous life. It was just a dream, Billy. It was just a dream. Kitsune Rush is going to come out. Gig on the point. It's getting the sound barrier first. Gig still has the Primal in their pocket ready to go. They go takes a couple shots, has to drop down, but has that Death Blossom coming out. The Suzu to keep them all alive through, but still not able to get any kills. Gig does pop that Primal Rage. It's very low. It's Nos opening things up again. Nos has been so good on Kings Row. Continues to pop off no matter which iteration, but The Kitsune Rush from Redbird Esports kind of scares everybody off momentarily. Here they come, all 5 of them storming back onto this objective to grab 2 points.
That is a beautiful disengage if I've ever seen one. There is a problem though. Matt is super low up on the high ground. He's going to get the Mega underneath. Has the Primal Rage to be able to recontest if they need to. But right now, it's all about the DPS here for Nyx.
Nos under pressure. Okay, he's going to go ahead and bail on out of there. Nos pops the overclock. Can't quite land that shot. Matt Merc in aggressive and can't stick around too long as it becomes a battle for high ground. Both Winstons, both Reapers up on this middle set of high ground vying for control. Both kind of back off a little bit after taking some damage. Neither wants to give their life over for it.
Oh no.
Lethal sitting back here. Yep, Death Blossom now ready to go. Mez made their presence known though, so not going to get you're not going to get the drop on him. Sound barrier out from Nyx. He's going to force Lethal to kind of rethink this a little bit as they're trying to muscle through Matt Merc's health bar, but guess what? That's just popped up to 1,000 as the Primal Rage is used. Lethal still looking for a spot to use the Death Blossom as Echo goes down. Matt Merc jumping around, and it's going to be used to try to devalue the rush, but no! The power of the Kitsune Rush is too much. The Fox Spirit will guide Nyx into a fight win. After a delicate dance between these two teams, Nyx are the ones who are taking the lead.
Vision almost got out too, and it's now just Nos on the point here. Just holding court. This is going to be a full completion. Will anybody be able to touch us? 179 on the meterage.
Yeah, it's double support ult coming out from Redbird. They should be able to hold this. There's really nothing from Nyx to counter it. My question is Nyx going to be able to build up anything in time? The DPS ults are going to have to be huge. There's not much time left.
A lethal swap to the Widowmaker just very briefly, and now have gotten themselves back onto the Reaper. So I mean, the burst healing coming through here from the Kiriko of Redbird Esports, really denying any more push for them. Paintbrush is actually going to fall behind here now as they try to spawn back in. So Sound Barrier is going to be the first thing up support-wise. Vision gets that first pick potential once again.
It's a sliding Nos who just face plants into the wall. That was a nasty shot.
You love the animations beyond it too. I'm not going to lie. These assassinations sometimes just absolutely crack me up. Overclock is available to Vision, and we know how lethal they can be. First pick potential, looking for support.
Vision with the overclock, Gig goes diving. Everybody from Nyx turns around and try to focus.
There it
Gig,
is.
oh my gosh! Vision leaps over the bubble to get that shot on the paintbrush. Oh, and everybody's caught in a room with a primaling monkey, not where you want to be. Perfect pair of fights coming out of Redbird Esports. And Nyx are super low on time now, and paintbrush is not much closer to that rush.
They're gonna have the sound barrier to be able to get them. They can speed onto the point. You got 20 seconds to get there. Blossom and the overclock available. The big thing that I'm looking for right now is how close does Paintbrush get to this Kitsune Rush? Oh my God, they're being so aggressive. Redbird not even allowing them to get on.
No, but Nyx wisely choose to use that sound barrier and are able to get one. And now all of Nyx is on this cart, and it's Redbird who have to try to come contest. Lethal dies in that process. Now Gig falls as well. You got 2 members of Redbird stuck on the other side, and then, well, it's an overtime, but a little bit better here from Nyx as they are able to find all 3 points this time around.
Well, I mean, hopefully our server doesn't crash this time. Pray to the internet gods or the server gods, whatever you want to pray to on this one, to make sure that we get a full completion here. But I mean, yes, they do better this time. Vision though is here to play. Vision is here to play. The first pick has come out from this gamer so many times in our series so far that I'm astounded by the game awareness of this player. The slide into the jump over Matt Merc's bubble and a dinger right between the eyes. That is not easy to do, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else out there. That is just fantastic knowledge of how to play the hero. And now, Nyx, you know, they have a lifeline this time. They have completed the entirety of the map. Now it's all about how much time can you waste? How much can you hold this Redbird Esports squad that are living up for their legacy right now? Not to put too fine a point on it, but really, Echo and Nos are going to have to be clicking heads here. They're going to have to be getting this first pick potential here out the gate. Otherwise, Redbird Esports, they really took the fight on their first attack before the server crashed to them. Really toot sweet, and we don't see the Bastion come out this time.
No, not this time. Yeah, Vision has just looked spectacular on the Sojourn. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Gig heading up to the high ground. Just kind of force Matt Merck back a little bit. Gain a little bit of positioning. Now heads on to the point. Echo just sticking it out in front of the team. Yeah, gets the Suzu, but eventually outstays their welcome as Echo just like hung out on the front line, and now Liar comes in with a 3-piece to get 55% towards that first sound barrier.
I mean, that's gonna gets the other support too. That's a 4K there for Redbird, and I mean, there's not gonna be any contest here. They're gonna have to really set up shop. They do have the opportunity to set up around Archway though, so that's gonna be a bit of difference. Well, why are we holding back so far? You guys have the space to take.
I mean, I think Redbird were claiming a little bit of space of their own, trying to hold that bookstore, be my guess. And Nyx didn't want to, get popped early and give up too much space. It was a bit of big risk. But now that they're going to come in and try to take that space back, perhaps have some cooldowns that they needed. But Echo gets found out inside the bookstore itself. Vision's going to find one as well. Matt Merck is stuck in here. There's not enough books in the world that are going to teach you how to get out of that situation, Matt Merck. This is another fight win for Redbird.
They got schooled there a little bit. Liar is a very angry Lucio right now. I'm not sure what got into their Wheaties today, but definitely feeling it right now. Paintbrush, closest on ultimate for Nyx, so Kitsune Rush will be able to stop, at least, or slow down the aggression coming in, but double support ultimates for Redbird Esports should win them this fight around the second corner.
Very impressive fish cake on Nyx's attack. The Liar really turning it up here. Oh, but, all right, Gig goes down. As Redbird decided not to invest anything into this one, perhaps caught off with just how fast Nyx moved in with that execution. Beautiful focus fire here from Nyx on that one.
I'm not sure how he got that shot, but that was beautiful work there coming out of Nos, and Echo getting their own claim of lethal there. So now you need to speed out. Now you go back and retake your position around the bookstore, make your hold there. You guys have made your point here. Get what you got out and move forward.
I just say Echo is back behind them. Oh, found Lethal. Lethal kind of by themselves over there. That one's going to get called out, and okay. It's going to open things up. It looked like Nyx tried to turn to find Lethal. Redbird are able to speed out in a bit of that confusion and to make it a rush on the objective. Sound barrier coming out for both teams as well. But it looks to be Redbird to have a bit of positional advantage. It's dueling Death Blossoms, won by Lethal. Oh my goodness, that was a lot of death there, and it all went in Redbird's favor as they're able to break their way out of spawn and keep moving through the streets.
That's the problem with holding so close there. And I mean, it's a little bit of hubris, if I'm going to be completely honest. Once you got the fight win there, you pull back to the payload, you hold around bookstore, and they don't get to do the do-si-do around you because they just sped around. Liar just amped the speed and got them behind Nyx, and Nyx got caught with their pants down.
Yeah, Lethal teleporting out really started it off right. But Matt Merck returns here, Primal Rage at the ready. Getting contested back to point B. Gonna go ahead and use that first thing in this fight. But everybody from Redbirds turns their attention, and Matt Merck falls fairly quickly at the start of this. That seemed like a good idea at the time, and Redbird quickly showing Matt Merck the error of their ways on that one. The rest of Nyx here still trying to fight it out with no tank in this battle. Echo takes some damage, and that's eventually the sign that they need to back on up.
Yep, I mean, they do get the second point, though. So a little under 4 minutes to complete this map. They got 3 minutes to do it, so they don't give Nyx a chance to get a second chance.
Nice little Zuzu for the disengage. Lethal's going to Wraith form out. And everybody from Redbird just avoid the damage. I said everybody. Lethal, that included you, too. Lethal gets caught in that weird spot in the corner, didn't disengage with the rest of the team.
Well, now it's all about what kind of focus fire they got coming down. How much time can Nyx honestly take off the clock here? They get it sub 1 minute. They're going to get a chance to attack there in our extra innings. But Matt Merck is getting absolutely pounded by Gag on the high ground.
Continuing our sound barrier here, and Redbird getting aggressive on the back of it. Fishcake has a sound barrier of their own. Doesn't have much health. Has to get topped off, which means there's no healing for anybody else. The two supports are focused on each other, and Redbird focused on the front line. Nos goes down. Lethal finds Echo. And there's not enough staying power around here. Beautifully played fight here in a very important ult fight from Redbird Esports.
It's all about the disruptor shot from Division. They're setting up that fight, locking everybody down in place, and seeing the follow-through coming through from Echo. So, Kitsune Rush, about 30% away for Paintbrush. Matt Merck will be able to be a little bit more beefy in this fight with the Primal Rage.
Go ahead into the high ground with the Death Blossom in hand. Liar almost stuck around a little too long. Gets out just in the nick of time. Battle going to take place down low around the corner now as both teams forego the high ground. Echo thought about using the inside Mega Room, but then thinks better of it after seeing a couple Redbird members. Overclock out from Vision, trying to break this thing open and stop Matt Merck on the Winston once again. Matt Merck just battles people around, but eventually has to back up. Now it's Gig who kind of got stuck behind enemy lines. Lethal trying to bring it back with the Death Blossom, but it's Echo who has the better Death Blossom. Finding several with that. Good hold here from Nyx.
Yep, and 2 minutes off the time bank here for Nyx. That is a boon for them. 1 more minute, they're going to get that extra chance to take a win here, or at least a draw up against the Redbird Esports squad. Now it's all about how much time can they actually burn.
Reaper said it's so fun to watch. Buck 40. Redbird holding up in the corner. Vision's going to go down early. Vision got caught out while the rest of the team was up in this little side room. And now Echo's trying to pursue this little close quarters battle. Echo's going to go ahead and back out. It's a rotation from Nyx as they are continuing this aggression to try to punish Redbird. See if they can find any more picks towards the back of this fight. But Redbird see a vulnerable Matt Merck on the side, and they're going to pounce. Fishcake has to use the sound barrier to save Matt Merck. Rush comes in from Rinko, and River are going to push forward. That'll at least buy him enough space to claim this spot. And a lot of them have moved on to the point and found a couple kills along the way. They just mowed over Nyx like a lawn in summertime. There's nothing but shambles left.
Oh,
nothing but clippings, Billy. Nothing but clippings. They're in the bag.
They should be clipping a lot of that fight right there. That was absolutely brilliantly strategy coming in through there. But Paintbrush, depending on what they get here, Echo's going to be able to come on from behind with that Shadow Step. They might be able to get there and contest the point. Nobody's actually moving the cart, though, and we're definitely going to see overtime here.
Absolutely. In fact, if Paintbrush can get this rush online, there's a chance to win this fight, but Giga's going to shut that down early. 2 early picks means there's nobody really taking advantage of the rush, and this cart is dangerously close. Point 2 is the rush does eventually come out, but unfortunately that extra healing is not enough to keep Matt Merck alive. Redbird will complete the map. Very close time banks, though. Pretty darn similar here.
Yeah, 18 seconds between the 2 squads, and I mean, that mow over fight, as you called it, definitely put it in the bag for them. It was all about just the last second touches, the quick touches coming in from Nyx. I thought that they would get a little bit more value out of that last Kitsune rush, but alas, Gig saved that Primal Rage for the final fight and got full value out of it. So we head back all even here, 3 points apiece here on King's Row. Do we see anything different come out from Nyx here? Do they try to throw a wrinkle into this match? Because right now, first pick potential definitely has been in favor of Vision. Vision has really stepped up all series long and has really gotten those first pivotal frags coming out the gate. So 30 seconds here before we see the teams come out. No changes in personnel for any of these squads. I assume that Matt Merck is going to go ahead and stay on the Winston here. I would almost be willing to see Echo go over to the Tracer and see if they can get a 1 clip and really force the resources out of Redbird Esports because they only got a minute. So, I mean, you're going to get maybe 2 fights here with how slow at points this composition can be.
My concern with that is Gig would just run all over you if you don't have the frontline pressure of that Reaper. It could work. I mean, we saw Nyx, we saw Sakuna find some success with that with Rocket, but I'm not sure Echo is quite the Tracer player that Rocket is either. A very important 60 seconds here for Nyx. This is tie the game or Redbird's going to match point unless they get something done and they're already down in this fight. But that kill on the Gig is massive. That is exactly what Nyx needed. Now they have rotated around to the back. Echo needs to stay up. Lethal trying to turn their attention on Matt Merck, but a good bubble's keeping him alive for now. Liar moving in, takes a lot of pressure, has to head up to the high ground. Just running for their life right now. Redbird are scattered all over this point, and Nyx looking far more coordinated on this attack. Gig sticking their nose out, bubble already used, and Lethal is gonna fall to a shot from Nas. Now Gig is pushed in, and it just ends up surrounded at Foam Booth. There's no knife line available for you. Rico trying to throw in the rush here to salvage this fight. I'm not sure there's anything to salvage. Well, I mean, Vision's still alive, so let me not speak too soon. As Matt Merck is sitting at 1 health, and it's the rush that might have just done this. Eiko is still up, and Pace Rush is still here on this point, I believe, as well. Yeah, the Consumer Rush is going to come out, and there's Shotgun to take advantage of this extra attack speed. But there's a sound barrier from the other side, and Pace Rush just loses their dome. His Vision is going to do it again. Liar comes up with 1, and Redbirds give up next to nothing on point A. There's a couple of ticks. We will not see a draw, but they do not get the cap, and next need a fuller hold if they want to tie up these grand finals.
Vision actually really saved the stall there because Eiko did come out on that Tracer and waited for the recall to come back and then painted Eiko between the eyes with the overclock shot. That is how you hold a point against extreme duress. I mean, still, full credit to Nyx getting 80.9% there. I mean, that is not a bad case to be in. So, I mean, we're not going to get a draw here. Redbird are going to be up against it. I think right now for Nyx, defensively, Paintbrush has to stay up. The healing has to be poured into Matt Merck because Matt Merck went down dangerously low quite a few times and forced the disengage out of the Winston. So Redbird Esports have really upped the ante here. And it's all going to be about the burst healing. Does Fishcake decide to save the amp for healing and get themselves closer to the sound barrier? Or do they, amp the speed and really get on top of the back line? A little bit of a change here, though. No, I say that. Liar is actually flipping things around here. Might bring out the Zenyatta. Nope. Going back again.
Yeah, yep. We're not going to get any changes. It's too tight. It's too close. You can't take that kind of a risk at this point. As much as I would love to see some creativity here, it's just not worth the risk for Redbird. Gig doing a good job of running that mark off again, who's taking that initial position on the high ground. Couple players hired behind Phone Booth, and oh no, Nos is in trouble. Yang finds a vulnerable target in the back, and they're taking over this precious spot on the back of Hotel. Lethal throwing some Hellfire Shotgun chunks into Mac Merck, and they have to just bail, and unfortunately they land in the lap of Gig. Kill on the Paintbrush will do it, as there's only 2 players left here. Of course, Nyx are going to do what they can to try to stall out, wait for reinforcements, but the focus fire is on point here from Redbird. Looking unstoppable. Redbird Esports will claim King's Row. Nyx, you were close, but no cigar. Redbird moving up to match point in the grand finals.
This was comprehensive. I mean, it was a lot closer than I anticipated it to be. But Nyx definitely have not taken anything for granted here and have really shown up huge here in the grand final. Nothing that's not expected from them. They have absolutely shown up big here. But I mean, Redbird, the hive mind mentality that we talked about in the beginning, that is the big difference. They all went in and pounced on the same target immediately. Nos had nowhere to go. There were so many assists in that kill feed. Well, when Nos went down, it was the amp speed. It was the Suzu that came in to make sure that everybody stayed up nice and healthy, because it was a 100 charge shot that came through from Nos, and they just absolutely bulldozed over the top. So, I mean, Jeff, this is the beauty of a legacy. This is the beauty of the hive mind.
It was close though, Billy.
Yep.
It was super close. That kill on the Gig, I thought might have just done it. Vision able to bring it back. Oh, phenomenal stuff from Redbirds, looking to close this thing out. We are going to take a quick little intermission. When we come back, it's map 3, it's Escort, it's Nyx's pick. What are they going to do? We'll see you in a few. It was a hotly contested Kings Row. Came down to the wire, and Nyx almost pulled it out as they got the opening pick onto Gig with their attack, but it was Vision coming up in the clutch, Billy, once again for Redbirds, and, well, propelling them to a 2-0 lead here. Now on match point in your Open Division Grand Finals.
Got to point out Nos as well. Nos really started to step up there, and it gave Vision a run for their money. But it was Vision, that last second contest and getting the kill that allowed the rest of the team to get back onto the point and stop the capture of point A there in overtime. Really was the definition of what we've seen all day. So Route 66, as we head there, good sight lines for the Vision, or for Vision here, whether offensively or defensively. Do we see the close hold, which has been kind of very popular here in Open Division this season, Jeff? Do we see them want to take a close fight, and get as much time off the clock as they are able to, and then make their next stand on top of Big Earls, around Big Earls, on their second fight, depending on how long it takes? That's going to be, what we need to be looking forward to. How aggressive does the defensive want to be coming out the gate?
Well, and I will say, this is the one map that Redbirds dropped against Secunda. So, I mean, we'll see if they change up their strategy, change up their approach here. Nyx have won Route 66 all day today. It's been the only escort map we've seen here on our final day at Open Division. Nyx have won it every time they've played it. So, I mean, if they're going to start their comeback, I mean, it's got to be now. But I will say, history is in their favor at the moment, at least on paper.
Paper it is. We'll see what they decide to actually bring out here. I mean, Redbird, they're not going to change anything up, especially with the, being able to hold close. If you put Vision on the little, I guess a little ladder bridge across the top of the tunnels there, you can actually do a lot more, but actually going to hold around the train here. So definitely here's the close hold that I was anticipating. Now it's all about how much time can they actually waste.
Matt Murph is back in here for map number 3. Oh, and is going for the Doomfist to try to break close hold. I like it. Cause a lot of disruption in the backline, perhaps. Trying to keep Lethal from having such a big impact. And Vision as well. No kills on either side as I say that Matt Murph falls. Vision is able to have the impact, and once again, this is a broken record of Vision getting first blood in these fights, and then Redbird are able to move in and get aggressive on the back of it, and so far so good here for Redbird Esports.
It's exactly what they need. I mean, you're already wasted 40 seconds off the time bank, and we've seen zero progress come through. Gig super low. There's the healing coming through. Oh, I say that Nos finally gets their own first pick potential.
Yeah, Nos was just waiting for Gig to emerge. The moment that monkey's head popped out, Nos takes it off. Follows it up with a kill on Division as well. So, we saw Nos step up at Kings Road. Nyx need him now more than ever.
They really do. And look at the Kiriko charges. Paintbrush 15% ahead of Renko. So, Kitsune Rush might be able to open up this fight even more.
Oh, there's another first blood in his fish cake. Is able to find Lethal. It's going to be a 5v4. Plenty of time, considering where this cart is located, for Lethal to get back into this fight. They can just teleport up. Pretty quick respawn. So we will see a recontester.
Definitely going to see that. I want to see if Paintbrush actually lays this down, just lets them have it.
So far, they're holding on to it as Liar and Gig have moved up to the top of Big Earls. They're going to drop down to the front of the cart, and it's going to be rushes out from both sides. Lethal having a ready form out. Rinko teleports just to avoid damage with 18 health before finding that teleport, and the rest of the team are able to clean up. Rinko under so much pressure, but just will not die. This Kiriko is invincible. Nobody can touch him. And Gig is there to protect their healer. Oh, what a retake here from Redbirds.
Exactly was, and I mean, it cost both support ultimates for Nyx. So this next engagement, you're looking at, the Blossom and Sound Barrier coming in. Only the Sound Barrier, only the Blossom and the Overclock available for Nyx. I'm gonna kind of negate these two Primal Rages, because you're not looking at close quarters unless one of these Nos finds the head shots on the back of him.
Yeah, both of our Winstons going into the back line at the moment. And it's going to be Gig who pops the Primal first. Maverick decides to fall back, I believe, and Gig is just going to go ahead and just get whittled down. Inside the Big Earls, Lethal's going to go and pull the Death Blossom. That's going to find one, but Nos finds Vision again. So both teams missing a DPS, but without the Reaper, Gig can more freely roam around and put pressure onto Nos. As we're going to see him make that leap over now. Didn't even need to use the bubble. Wisely holding on to that. Now is going to elect to go ahead and throw that down. A little extra defense. And Redbird seem to have an answer for everything Nyx throws at him so far.
Coming in with the overclock, though, is going to be able to really light the feed up if they decide to get in there. Matt Merck going down. Renko actually getting first pick right there.
I mean, Matt Merck was surrounded. I mean, just roll the dice of who was going to get that final blow. Everybody was putting damage onto Matt Merck. And it's Lethal who comes up with a lot of final blows in that fight.
30 seconds left. 4.06 meters is the progress made. We've seen full holds before. We've seen first point holds. Support ultimate ready to go here for Renko. You can actually let loose with this and stall the approach coming in. Matt Merck will be able to touch with the Primal Rage, though, Jeff.
Yeah, there's definitely enough time. Fishcake can even make it over there to touch with an amp speed. They want to stall until Paintbrush can get this rush online. They don't want to hard engage until the absolute last possible moment. Matt Merck is going to dive in and use the Primal Rage to do so, and that Paintbrush rush is online. The return is true, and everybody's moving at double speed right now. It's Fishcake's sound barrier that should give him the edge, but Redbird are just not dying. They are so good at staying alive, of pushing the boundaries, but not pushing too far, and now Paintbrush is out of this fight. It's desperation time here for Nyx. Nos has to pop off big with this overclock. Oh, but Lethal pulls the trigger first. Nos is in the cave and struggling to find targets. Meanwhile, everybody else from Nyx just gets obliterated. There's nothing left. Redbird hold on point A. They need a measly 81 meters to win the grand finals.
Yeah, we've been talking about the Sojourn battle all night, Jeff, right? But Renko on this Kiriko has absolutely popped the you-know-what off. Final blows coming in from them. Yes, I know the initial one, everybody surrounded them, but Renko right there was clicking heads. He got 2 final blows in the final fight. That's what you want to see come out from your Kiriko. Not only laying down the burst healing with the Afuda, but also being able to land those kunai and getting those final blows. Absolutely fantastic work out of the support line there for Redbird Esports. There is still a chance that Nyx can win this. It's not completely done yet. We can see the same nice close hold that come through for Nyx. We can see them, get an initial pick. I think it's all about when they decide that they're going to disengage, how many members of Nyx are actually going to be alive when they do decide to, to go ahead and pull back. I want to see Nos up here on this gangplank here, for better words of saying it. And landing headshots. The rest of the team is looking for the close hold. But if you can play a distance here and make those shots count, you're kind of giving yourself a little bit extra cushion so that you don't get fragged out early in the fight.
Attackers incoming.
We got a spawn break comp coming out as we have the Widowmaker and the Pharah here. Just playing a lot of disruption. And this is just to try to find these initial picks, break this open. Gig is going to fall first on the Hog. I think it's going to prompt Lethal to fall back. And we'll go ahead and get some swaps. Yep, going back. Oh, excuse me.
Are they playing with their food, Jeff? Are they playing with their food?
I mean, that's a tough one to call. That's a tough one to call. There we go. No, I think Lethal was just looking for a quick pick. Throw some mines up into the 45. This box car here that we see Echo currently sitting, but does eventually head back on over to the Reaper, and all is well with the world. All is right. Gig goes down early though, finds themselves in the sights of Echo's Hellfire shotguns. Lethal taking a lot of damage, just has to Wraith form out. And this is going to be a second fight win here for Nyx. Maybe we'll call it 1.5.
Yeah, but now it's the time for them to disengage. Well, I say that. You know what? I'm just going to sit here and look pretty because Echo finding their opposite and Fishcake to go ahead and take Vision down. This is actually a pretty stellar hold so far for them. A minute 15 off the clock so far, Jeff. Ultimates coming up online for Nyx. I mean, Paintbrush is 30% ahead of Renko on this Kitsune Rush. So there's a big difference for me right now.
And Nos is going to find Vision. Oh, it's exactly what they needed. Nos is not phased back here, still focused as ever, and once this map able to zone in on those headshots, and man, are those important.
Overclock available right now, Jeff, and the Kitsune Rush. Renko is still 15% away.
Oh, Nos under pressure from Gig up on the high ground, and will eventually find that kill, but Nos returns the favor. They trade. Obviously, Gig has a much closer respawn. Lethal with the Death Blossom, putting a lot of pressure on Matt Merck. Matt Merck is close to that Primal Rage, is able to get topped off at the back of the car, but here comes Lethal pursuing that. The Suzu even out, trying to keep Matt Merck alive long enough. Sound Barrier as well. Eiko's gonna throw in the Death Blossom, doesn't really find much with it, and Matt Merck eventually falls, does not pull the trigger on the Primal Rage. He gets low and has to back up, but Nyx's health bars are very low. Redbird are punishing, are pursuing, and they're gonna push this cart forward.
Yep, but I mean, 93 seconds here to get to that 80-meter mark. So, I mean, at least 2 fights here. At least 2 fights. You've got the Primal Rage ready to go. You've got the Overclock as well. Renko smartly held on to the Kitsune Rush there. So that's going to be a good initializer here for Redbird Esports.
Yeah, Lethal did a lot of damage in that last fight. That was a good job of controlling Matt Merck. Interesting rotation as Nyx just all move through Big Earls and right to the cart. Vision's going to go and pop an Overclock and try to scare him off. It forces Nyx back towards the spawn. When anybody who didn't leave just gets obliterated by Lethal on this point. That's Lethal coming up with 3, make it 4. As Lethal is, well, living up to the namesake here. 1 more fight win for Redbirds, and they will take home the crown. 20 meters and counting. And I mean, they're going to have to be able to get back here in a hurry. I don't know if they get the touch. Matt Merck's probably going to have to pop the Primal Rage just a touch. Yeah, at least has it as a backup. Does Lethal on, does make the touch, and Eiko's going to find Lethal. So, kind of cooling off that gamer because Lethal has been hot as coals. And this is going to prompt a bit of a disengage. Nyx able to stabilize. 17 seconds on the clock, Billy.
Yep, and you got Primal Rage still ready to go. Paintbrush probably will get the Kitsune Rush. That's going to be a big difference because there's nothing to counter it out.
This is Nyx's fight to lose. Matt Merck up on the high ground. Leaps back in and trying to pursue down low. Gig got the touch. Overtime will be initiated. Has to work around Eiko, who's just waiting with the Mega Pack at their side. Nos pushing forward. Eiko beside him, and it's going to chase Gig up off to the high ground. Has to drop back down and make sure Overtime keeps going and just gets absolutely obliterated. Matt Merck is going to find Lethal, and it's a 4v3 favoring Nyx on the defense. Kitsune Rush out for them as well, and that's going to prompt a fight with everything. And the kitchen sink thrown in from Nyx. They stopped Redbird shy, and they do not lose on Route 66. They have not lost in this map all day. That trend will not be broken in the grand finals.
Beautiful first touches, first pick potential coming out from Nyx there, controlling the tempo of Route 66. They knew when to disengage. They knew when to press the Q button. They knew when to be aggressive, and they knew when they had to wait their turn to be able to take these fights in their stride. So Nyx definitely understanding their order of operations here, understanding their win conditions, understanding when to fight and when to run. And that last fight there was the perfect embodiment of that, being able to throw down the Kitsune Rush. That really sealed the deal.
Yeah, it was a good job from Paintbrush to build that up and hold on to it for that final fight. Good macro coming out of Nyx. That was dicey. All right, I was worried for him, Billy. After they got stopped, I was very worried for him. But, you know, they step up to the plate. They're able to hold at the door for nearly 2 minutes. Nos is able to get some crucial picks and keep Redbirds from initiating as quickly as they want. That's a good hold. Now they go to push. It's been New Queen Street has been our map of the day as far as push is concerned. Redbird, very, very tough to beat on this map.
Well, this is where the turnaround started yesterday for Nyx versus Timeless, was on New Queen Street. This is when we saw Matt Merck come into the game. This is when we saw Matt Merck establish their dominance as a very good monkey, and actually wins that, and then goes to Oasis and cleans up there as well. And then you see the 3-2 win there yesterday for Nyx, which gets them to the point where we're fighting Secunda today, and then we're sitting right here. So this is actually, if they are going to go to New Queen Street, this is going to be a little bit of a playground here for Matt Merck. I have not seen. I saw the last series. Gig was absolutely disgusting on the monkey. So I think that the Winstons here are going to be where we should really zoom in on who's able to take that space, who's able to hold the bubble longest. and then be able to engage on the back of using that resource out there. That's where my attention's going to be. Where are you looking at, Jeff?
I was still thinking about just the fact that, you're talking about that reverse sweep yesterday, that 5-map win. And it just reminds me that Knicks are no strangers to being in these positions. It's, the pressure is on, and that's when Knicks seem to turn to diamond. It is that pressure that condenses them and just makes them stronger. So, I mean, Redbirds do not have this, all sealed up just yet. Knicks are starting to come back. Hey, and you know what? I only talking about, historically, neither of these teams have lost this map. I mean, at least here on the back end of our bracket.
No, I think what's going to make it so impactful and so exciting for us is how are they going to be able to work the macro? How are they going to be able to zoom out and take a look at the fight as a whole rather than, just in the moment? And the one thing that I'm going to look at, if Redbird Esports go behind by, 50, 60 meters, I'm going to look for Lethal to go over to the Genji and take a look and see what he can get done there. But we'll see. We'll see what actually comes out of this first engagement.
Both teams coming out with the Winston.
Saying hi.
Yep. Nothing that's surprising here as we fight around the hockey player. Nick's kind of hanging out towards the edge. You can see Liars starting to jewel a little bit at this prospect, going up and trying to get a bow, but it's Vision who's able to get the final blows. As Liar is actually eventually going to come up with one of their own. So Redbird win first fight, and they're going to get TS1 a moving.
It was Vision once again getting the first pick out of the gate. Actually gets the first two, and then Liar cleans up on the back of that. So good ult charge there going through for Redbird Esports as we cross the 20-meter mark. It's all going to be about coalescing together as a unit for Knicks. Now they lose the first fight. They don't get the favorable angles. Maybe got a little bit ahead of themselves, but there's still plenty of time here to re-engage and take the fight to Redbird Esports.
Nick's definitely going to come up and take this fight. Echo comes in from the stairs, falls in from behind, and catches Vision unaware. What a flank from Echo. It was a high-risk, high-reward play. This time, Knicks are rewarded, and they're going to push this bot right on back.
You see how low Matt was there? Like maybe 60 health, and yeah, had to wraith out. We saw Lethal have to wraith out, otherwise that monkey is dead. And now it's a great push here coming in for Knicks.
Here we'll get the meter started at least. Redbirds have the option to not let them take the lead. Not that it's super important this early in the stage. That kill on the Liar is really important, though. 10% away from Sound Barrier in this fight as Fishcake is going to come up on their own. Doesn't even need it. And it's going to be Paintbrush with the rush that'll win that. Yeah, we saw some leg day efforts there. Got to make sure you get those squats in.
Oh Lord! I mean, just one fight or one ultimate to win the fight. Renko actually let loose with their own Kitsune rush there and loses the fight. So now it's about sound barriers. It's about the it's all about the pressing Q button right now.
A well-timed sound barrier from Liar on that one. That was a little bit dicey, but Lethal's not really able to get much done. But Vision is hanging on to this corner and nails it. What a shot onto Echo. Taking down both DPS single-handedly. Vision continues to be a menace in this lobby.
This is disgusting coming out from this gamer. I mean, I am absolutely impressed by the ability to find the vision, hence their name, and find the angles to take these headshots. This is beautiful work.
Oh my, Vision has just been so impressive. The accuracy on this gamer is unreal. How do you stop it? And then Renko to boot? Oh man, this is why Redbird are just such a dominant team right now. The best team in Collegiate, looking to be the best team in this tournament if they can win this map. But King, about a little more they can chew. Knicks are no easy opponent. They're not going to give you any freebies. And King learning that the hard way. Matt Merck coming down, trying to take control of TS1. The rest of Redbirds, they're going to continue to poke a little bit as they disengage.
Well, we did see Renko use the Kitsune rush first in the double Kitsune rush fight. However, they have completely outstripped Knicks here in that department by a full 20%.
And that's enough here. Yeah, they can go ahead and use it. Paintbrush might not get theirs up in time. It's up into the corner, goes Nig, takes Nas out of the fight first. And Matt Merck is super low. Paintbrush just continued to just stick around, but Matt Merck couldn't quite get topped off. Good focus fire coming out of Redbird, and they're going to get this cap.
They're going to get a cap. There's going to be a little bit of stall here, as everybody knows. Next engagement for Nyx should be Kitsune Rush. It'll help build Eiko and Matt Merck up to get to their ultimates because, well, Redbird Esports actually playing a lot forward. I like the aggression coming out here.
Yeah, Lethal has the Death Blossom. We've seen it used before. This one finding more success than previously as it's 2 opening picks. And the Kitsune Rush is completely devalued. That's how you draw it up. Lethal's been trying to do that all day. I think it's the first time we've really seen it find true success.
I mean, you hit it on the head there, Jeff. The complete devaluation of that Kitsune Rush. All you're going to have now into this next defense is a Primal Rage and a Sound Barrier.
You know what? Those are 2 pretty good ultimates, though, especially for buying some time. See if Nos can clap back here and prove their mettle against Division. I will say, though, but, you know, Gig's just going to come in and batter everybody to an absolute pulp. Paintbrush, no room to swift step out. And this is going to be another fight win. It was a little bit stealing the bottle away, but only a temporary setback here for Redbird.
Yeah, but I mean, the good thing here for Nyx, Sound Barrier, both DPS ultimates into this fight. So they have some sustainability. They have some ability to clap back. But they've got to stop the pressure coming in.
It's a bit of a duel between overclocks right now. Neither able to find much value. Sound Barrier out from both teams as they continue to mirror ultimates. It's Nas who had a charged up shot still in the gun and picks off Wire on the approach. Now Eiko's going to throw in a Death Blossom, eats a lot of damage, wisely moves back into the bubble and is able to stay alive, get topped off. Smart move. It keeps Nyx on top, keeps them with the player advantage, and they're able to snowball that into a fight win.
Well, I mean, but it cost them everything, Jeff. It cost them absolutely everything, and now you have nothing to defend other than a bubble and a Suzu against Lethal's Death Blossom coming up. 3:45 left on the clock here. We're starting to get towards the business end of this push map.
Here, Redbird got close spawns, and they are here to take this fight immediately. Unfortunately, they lack vision. Truly, no pun intended on that one. I'm just going to let that one go. Your turn to talk.
I would too. I mean, that was absolutely perfect coming out from you, my friend. But Gig is getting some kills going in through here, and now it's all about the push coming through once again. Gig is absolutely dominating out here on the...
There you go, Gig. There you go, Gig.
Attaboy.
Oh, my. You get him. You get him.
Yep, has pounded the chest and yes, is completely done with their nonsense. So now you have dispersal at your availability here with this Primal Rage. Matt Merck can answer back, and Sound Barrier ready to go for fish cake.
Giga 10-foot Giga Chad on this Winston right now. It is up to Nyx to try to answer back. Do you have anything to stop this squad?
Oh.
Nos says yes. Finds Lethal right in the dome. Good pick to start things off. Gig is going to go ahead and drop that Primal Rage, but ends up just backing out. Matt Merck responding in kind as Gig returns to the fight, but unfortunately lacks teammates there to finish it out. Nyx are going to turn this bot around, but they've got a lot of work ahead of them.
Yep, and they're going to be running into double support ultimate in this fight, Jeff, and it's all about, you know, the disengage. Now, we're seeing Redbird actually stay in these fights just to take time off the map. They know that they've got the meterage in their favor. So now, they're actually staying in these fights and then taking the fight when it's more favorable to them.
Sound Barrier out. Gig doesn't get it. Gig is low and does not receive the Sound Barrier. Focus Fire is there with Nos' overclock, and Eiko's going to pop the Death Blossom. Rinko is able to finish off the ladder, but Redbird are still down in this fight. Nyx with an advantage, but no ultimates to use. It's going to have to be done in the neutral. Wraithform already used by Lethal, and they're in a small room. Rinko teleports in there with the Swift Step, and Lethal emerges with the Death Blossom. It was a bait. You did not want to go in that room with Lethal. Lethal just killed everybody. The big brain play from the Reaper might have just sealed the fates of Nyx.
Oh my lord, Jeff. Come on, man. That was the debate of 2022, and now they've got forward spawn once again. So now the rest of the team is going to be ready to go. Paintbrush ready to go with the Kitsune Rush, but this is just turning into a debacle for poor Nyx.
All right, Rush is out. Lethal's very far forward. He just has to Wraith forward back.
Oh.
Eiko goes into the room and Paintbrush. Well, both supports killing both Reapers, as a matter of fact. This is going to favor Redbird, as Nyx just have so far to travel, and so every casualty for Nyx is detrimental. It means they can't get aggressive. It means they can't press forward as much as they would like, and Vision just adds another to the tally.
Vision is going to be my MVP of this series. If Redbird do end up finishing this out in a 3-1 fashion, definitely going to be my MVP of the day. The shots have been clean, the lines have been clean, and the engagements have been perfect.
It has been outstanding. A truly impressive performance from Vision on the Sojourn today, and continues to excel as Lethal finds Matt Merck. And Gig is in your back line, just buzzing down your supports. This is looking like a Redbird victory right now. It's going to take a miracle for Nyx to do anything about this.
I mean, they've got the Primal Rage too. Gig can just juggle everybody off the point. He goes in.
Sound barriers out. Redbird have one to respond in kind. Redbird Esports have all the tools they need to finish this fight, to finish these grand finals with them on top of the mountain. Dig into the back, looking to take it home, finding the kill, and, well, just putting Nyx into the grave. Redbird Esports, they emerge victorious in a 3-1 victory. They are your Open Division Grand Finals champions for 2022 Season 2. They will walk away with nearly $9,000 in prize money to add to their tally for this year.
And Gig, this is when he actually turned it on and just let, BDE right there. I mean, that's just, main tank energy, everything that you want out of a tank player. Just absolutely turned it on its head there, and just had fun.
Would that be BGE? Big Gig Energy? I think that's some big Gig Energy right there.
Big Gig energy.
Mad props to Rinko, by the way. That play from Lethal, it was the swift step in from Rinko with the Suzu that kind of initiated and allowed Lethal to make that just a phenomenal play on the Reaper as well. Rinko looking outstanding and truly looking like the best Kiriko that we have in NA as well. But I have to mirror something that you were talking about earlier, and that was the undeniable impact of Vision on this Sojourn, and that was consistent. It wasn't, one or two cool headshots. It was like every time we were on Vision's point of view, they were doing something that just absolutely blew my mind.
Yep, and that's why they get my Open Division Season 2 MVP. I have to give a honorable mention though. A second place to Renko. Damn. That's all I got to say. Damn.
Oh my, what a run we have had here at Open Division. It's been phenomenal. I want to go ahead and touch on, so we got 4 teams that moved on. The teams we saw here today all guaranteed a spot in Run It Back, our Season 2 Contenders Tournament here for NA. The other 4 teams that we will see move up, I believe, I do not have confirmation on this. This is just from my math, so there might be an exception I'm not taking into account. But from my research, we're going to have Boobies, Fishman, Timeless, and Riz Academy moving on to join the other 8 teams and Run It Back. So congratulations to them for moving forward. Everybody top 8 winning a little bit of prize money. So a lot of these teams, not going home empty-handed, but it is Redbirds walking away with that big, nearly $9,000 prize pool, Billy. Oh my goodness, what a run they have had this year.
Yep, Normal Illinois is going to be cheering on tonight. It's cold there because it's cold here, and I know they got pretty much the same weather as I do. It's only a couple hours away. It's only like 5 hours away from me. So Normal Illinois is definitely going to be cheering tonight as you do see the Redbirds take the title here. Big ups to Nyx, though. Nyx really impressed me through this tournament. They had their backs against the wall quite a few times, and they really persevered through. So 3-1 up against Redbird Esports is nothing to scoff at, and can't wait to see them in NA Contenders. Yeah,
it was a really good showing from Nyx, a wonderful low at bracket run that they made to make it this far and get nearly $5,000 in prizing for Nyx. So an absolute phenomenal showing. We hadn't seen him make top 3 in either Summer Series side A or B, so really stepping up here and looking to be a team to absolutely watch out for as we move into Run It Back. And I can't wait to see you all there. Got to give some appreciation for our squad here today. We had Hippie doing production. We had a numerous team of observers back here providing all the camera work and a lot of hard work behind the scenes that includes Acrylic. forgive me, I'm not sure on that one. Lottie and Temporal were on ops today. I also want to give a big shout out to Clutch Key and to Tryhard Ray for holding down the B stream, and then Ocean and Waffles for Sid for setting things up for us, and the beautiful casting we had in the winners bracket final. And the lower bracket final as well. Most importantly, thank you everybody at home for hanging out with us, all the teams, all the players hanging out and enjoying this. It's been an absolute privilege and an absolute blast getting to present these grand finals to you. Huge congrats to Redbird Esports. We will see them and run it back. We will see you there as well. Until then, look out for each other and game it out. Have a wonderful evening, friends.
Bye, guys. Love y'all.
K.